Hello, good morning, welcome to this first session, which has been planned so lovingly by our president, Tata Sonic ma'am. We should congratulate her for the new posting also. And without further ado, ask her to welcome Dr. Sheetal Gagrani, who will take us through this wonderful strength training session, especially for people like who are in the menopausal stage or even otherwise. And she'll be giving us great tips. So I'm sure all of us are waiting and excited. And before that, I request Tata Sonic ma'am to welcome.
So, hello, dear friends. Welcome to our first online webinar on fitness and wellness. We have a very special guest today, Sheetal Gagrani, and she's leading today for London. So, we thought we will have a session, right? We'll have more of these webinars. They will also be recorded, and you can see them at your leisure to miss them. So, I'm welcoming her with this lovely book. Thank you, Sheetal. And yes, a book for the journey. And without any further delay, invite Sheetal to please address us all.
So first and foremost, apologies for finding out this rather odd window on a work week 11 a.m. But this was the only slot window I had, right? And I just this opportunity, and I'm very well said that we can go ahead with that. So same as with exercise. There's no right time. You just have to find the right window wherever you can and just experiment. So first thing goes from there. I will tailor my talk. It's a little unstructured talk because I didn't find to make any presentation. My son just so I've been working on that. But since the topic is very close to my heart, I think I can blabber a little bit and some people can feel a little bit here as well. I'll tailor my talk to our group. Most of us are, I think we are about 40s and beyond, i.e. perimenopausal and menopausal. So from 30, and when you are up to 30 years of age, your pathophysiology of the body is anabolic, as if your body is actually developing. It's in an anabolic phase. You turn to 30, it starts going downhill. It goes in a catabolic phase. 30 onwards, your body starts reducing your muscle mass by 5% every year. And this goes really downhill when you come to menopause. Menopause is by definition when you stop having your bleeding or period bleeding for an year. So it goes irregular, then you stop it. I'm menopausal. I've been menopausal for 3 years now. And when menopause hits in, the catabolic phase really goes downhill. So what happens in the body? Body is depleted of when the menopause or perimenopause starts actually earlier, a little earlier than menopause, when your period starts getting irregular, or even with regular periods, your estrogen and progesterone is on the decline. Growth hormone is on the decline, and cortisol is going up. So what estrogen and progesterone do? Estrogen helps your bones so there are two types of cells, osteoclast and osteoblast. Osteoclasts eat your bone away. Estrogen is reducing estrogen helps osteoblastic activity, i.e. the bone development, and osteoclasts eat it away. So estrogen is declining, your bone strength is going down. Progesterone is helpful in muscle mass. So any which way your body is slowly reducing your muscle, when the progesterone decline comes in, the muscles are reduced more significantly. The loss in muscle is technically known as sarcopenia. So your body is actually geared towards osteopenia and sarcopenia. The biggest cause of morbidity and mortality in 70 plus women is fractured neck of the femur. This is because of the osteopenia, and because of sarcopenia, there is no muscles to hold it around. It's very difficult to get a bone replacement as well. So at this phase in life, when we all are achievers in some way or the other, we have done our jobs, we have raised kids. At this phase of time, exercise is not for outside vanity. It's not for looking good. We have all done that. We have proved that it's basically to have an active life. 40s and 50s, you have done everything. It's this time you have a little financial stability. This is the real time when you can actually have good quality of life. And good quality of life, health is the most important thing. All daily activities are a combination of 5 types of movements: push, pull, squat, hinge, and carry. If you see any daily activity, if you're going to bend down and pick it up, you're squatting and picking up things. If you're carrying your grocery bags, you're carrying it. If you want to hug your child, you're pulling them. If you want to slap them, you're using push. So all activities in your daily life are a basic 5 movement combinations. And these are the 5 movements that we kind of train our body to learn when we do strength training. So we do it not for vanity. The basic reason is to have a fruitful, good life. So, she's doing something? Yeah. So, a little bit more of pathophysiology. Estrogen is declining, progesterone is declining, cortisol is on the rise. Estrogen is leading to osteopenia, progesterone is leading to sarcopenia. There is reduction of growth hormone, which is again leading to osteopenia and sarcopenia, and the cortisol anyways is increasing. So what we do at this stage is we go and do a lot cardio. Most of the women, they think strength training is for men. We are all humans. We have the same kind of muscles. My biceps is no different than Bhushan's biceps or my son's biceps. So you have to train them equally together. And there is another myth that we think that we'll become bulky, we'll become manly. So we need testosterone. Estrogen doesn't let you become manly. We say we want to get tone, we don't want to muscle. What is actually toning? Toning is basically having muscles. We are not going, and I hope it was so easy to develop muscles. It actually takes so long to even reduce your 1% body fat at this catabolic phase of life. Cortisol is on the rise. Cortisol is a stress hormone. When you do lot cardio, you are again putting body under stress, and cortisol is rising. So you kind of like adding to cortisol on your body. And what cortisol does it preserves your fat. Estrogen goes away. Estrogen normally have to put fat around the hips. But once the estrogen is gone, when you're menopausal, the body fat deposition changes. We go to male kind of fat deposition, i.e. around your midriff. And secondly, estrogen causes, lack of estrogen causes visceral fat deposition. Visceral fat deposition leads to all kinds of cardiac problems. There is nothing known as fat reduction. There are so many things on Instagram and everywhere. They say that you do this kind of facial exercise and then you will lose fat on the face. And then when you exercise, tone wins your face because you will get lines. When you are aging, wrinkles are going to happen. The muscles are supposed to contract. So if you're contracting them, actually you're using your facial muscles. You're actually giving them. The lines come because we lack collagen. And what is happening, Indian diet is so lacking in protein. Collagen is nothing but protein. So what body does is, body doesn't have protein. It starts breaking your own collagen to use it. So recommended daily allowance just for normal survival is 0.8 gram of body per kg body weight, protein weight. And in the routine Indian vegetarian diet, we don't even cross. So I used to track my protein with my vegetarian Indian diet. I never cross more than 30 grams. So I would really say the first few months, you need to really track what you're eating. And if you want to change your metabolism from catabolic phase, which we are in, to anabolic phase, you have to tank up to 2 grams per kg body weight, i.e. a 50 kg person should approximately 90 to 100 grams, which I try to take. Whey protein is not a steroid. Because the Indian diet is so restricted, vegetarian particularly, our source of protein is mostly milk, yogurt, tofu, tempeh, and soya. Soya bean is really good. Please add roast soya and add to your chapatis. Soya is very good, and there is no harm in taking a scoop of whey protein because you really need it. It's not steroid. It's not just for men. I think हमारे यहाँ पे बोलते हैं डब्बे की body बनाई है. It's not like that. Because the diet is reduced, no harm in taking good supplements. So that's it. And then what I wanted to say was, it's just not about the day-to-day activity increases, like, you can party hard, you can dance for 4 or 5 hours without having your muscles. You've got strong quads, strong glutes to carry you forward, and mental health, endorphins are released. When menopause sets in, uh, the testosterone also reduces, which is actually helpful for our cognitive features and the brain. I don't know how many of you have actually experienced. There is an experience of it suddenly happens that your mind is fogged. We as women are very we can do a lot of multitasking, but when the menopause comes in, multitasking becomes so difficult. I don't know whether you experience or not. Most of the women get depressed in their 40s and 50s, and the menopause comes in at the same time. Why is it so? It's not that every one of us going to lali at 40. It's just because it's the hormones that are going away. Your hypothalamic pituitary axis is going in a different direction. So when you exercise, you actually are changing towards the other side. So when you are giving strength training to your bones, so that increases the collagen or the reticular tissue on the which the osteoblast put the calcium. So the strength training, you're giving against the resistance, the bone is getting stronger. So when you start strength training, you start putting on muscles and you start putting on bones. So actually, you will gain weight. So don't let the machine fluster you. Don't step on the machine, give yourself time. It is a way of reflection, okay? Yes, if it is like, if you start putting on 10 kg, it's completely different. But if your clothes start fitting better and you gain a little bit of weight, it's actually better. So, as I would say that I was more into functional and cardio till I was menopausal, but I reduced my cardio, and I've shifted more to strength. So I do 4 days of strength and 1 day of low intensity cardio. I used to be 49 kgs. I'm 52 kgs now, but I get people coming and telling me you look slimmer. On the contrary, I'm 4 kgs heavier than 4 years ago. So so like a iron bar is weightier than a big pillow of cotton. So when you start exercising, your bones get denser, your muscles get stronger, you get leaner, you get slimmer, your clothes fit better. So along with weight, do take your measurements as well. Don't neglect your measurements and do take your photos because they are the best thing. You will see the lean definition first in the photos. Also, we kind of like our generation thinks that social media, this, that, and other is too bad. But if you use it properly, we all have to change our ways. So when you go to travel, you take photos, you enjoy your journey. Similarly, fitness is a journey. Do enjoy it and do go to gym. Buy a set of athleisure wear if you can afford, wear it, go to the gym, take the place in the bench area. Don't Women generally shy of that. But more often than not, no one is there to ridicule you. It's more in your mind. Everyone has started journey somewhere. Go ask for help. The fitness enthusiasts actually are quite balanced people. They are more happy to help than not. So do go in, ask someone. If you ask someone to correct your form, ask them to help you spot. Take a trainer in first few weeks if you can afford, because then that breaking the barrier. For women, most of us, it's about getting into the clothes and no harm. And I've seen people lifting in sari, I've seen people lifting in salwar suits. Whatever is comfortable, wherever you can start. And as I said, looking good is a byproduct. This is not the desirable byproduct. Ultimately, you will look good. Slowly, better and better. But don't try to take it as a chore or take it like, okay, I have to look good, hence I'm good. You have to change the mindset. As I said, we are all accomplished. We all have looked good. We have been there, done that. This is the time where we need to increase the functional strength. Push, pull, carry, take your groceries, travel abroad. This is the time when you will be free and you can yourself. So that's probably all, and I am very happy to answer a few questions or any myth that you have. One more thing I have heard is about when you leave gym, you become fat. No, it's not right. When you're exercising, your intake increases. when you stop exercising, you still eat the same amount. So your output is gone, calories in, calories out, CECO. So what the thing is, when you are exercising, you're more hungry, you're eating in more without realizing. When you stop exercising, you are geared to eating the same thing. आप 3 चपाती खाते थे, आपने exercise छोड़ दिया, आप फिर भी वही खाते. And there is a lot of hidden food that we eat. That 5 times of mukwas in a day, which you go unnoticed, if you realize it is 500 calories, which is about 2 sessions of your weight training. That extra ketchup in a dollop of mayonnaise, it's 200 calories gone, which you don't even realize. So you have to look into these hidden calories, which trickle through your food. So these are the culprits that make you heavy. It's not the going to the gym. So, and other methods that we will become manly. We can't become manly. We don't have testosterone. We only become stronger and more feminine. And the third thing is, as every one of us has a specific feature, my nose is never going to look like any one of yours. No. Similarly, my arms will never, there is a little genetic composition. So I'm basically a little mesomorphic. I have a little heavier arms. But my arms would certainly be better than my own arms. My body would be better than my own body. My nose can't look like Alia Bhatt's nose. This is my feature. And why should it? Because this is what uniquely we are, isn't it? So when you exercise, you go with the thought thinking that, oh, I should have someone's body, XYZ's body. No. The mindset should be that I'm going to make my body better than my last week. I'll lift heavier than what I left 2 weeks back. And progressive increase. So, like, you may start with a resistance band because maybe you don't have power enough to lift it. Then you will go to 2 kg dumbbell. Then you will go to 5 kg dumbbell. I have been through the process. And trust me, I do my chest press with 16 kg dumbbells. I started with 2 kgs. I do with 16 kgs dumbbell. Yeah. 60, yeah. And I started my deadlift with 10 kgs. I deadlift with 65 kgs, 12 deadlifts, set of 4. So within 4 years, and has it made me manly? I don't think so. You become more curvaceous. Your glutes become rounder, which is the kind of thing. And basically, if you are short, you are mesomorph, you are not going to look like anyone else, but certainly you will be stronger, better than yourself. So that's another myth. So we will never become manly. Our muscles are the same, our anatomy is the same as that of men. So exercising between men and women is the same. On the contrary, there are little differences. Women have 1/3 the strength of upper body than men. That is why when you try to train pull-up, push-ups, it's very difficult for us. So if you see a woman doing pull-up or a push-up, hats on to that, off to that woman, because she is at 70% handicapped than a man. So there are little differences. So, but the exercise pattern is going to be the same. And what's another myth? As I said, you leave, and if you make faces, you get wrinkles. If you are not making faces, then you are actually not lifting heavy enough. Every set, the last 2 reps, you should be struggling. If you want to give stimulus to your bones and strength, the last 2 sets you have to be struggling. So that's another myth, that face yoga is I don't want to use, it's rubbish. I was going to say bullshit, but face yoga and all, there is nothing as spot reduction. Please don't go and get that cryo done or save your own money and do yourself a favor. On the contrary, buy athleisure wear, a nice one, which makes you feel better, and hire a strength training instructor. So where you can save your money is going to rubbish detox diet, because that's 1 week. All they do is they put you on serious starvation and you lose your water weight. You come back feeling leaner, 3 and 4 kgs, you spend thousands of pounds on that, and then back again, woof. And they said that, oh, I was like, so no detox diet, protein intake, about, say, minimum 1 gram per kg body weight, strength training, and I really don't know why India doesn't have access to HRT. I am on HRT for last 2 years. HRT is hormone replacement therapy. The new hormone replacement therapies are really, really safe until unless you have a gene positive breast cancer. And previously there was the thing about blood clotting due to HRTs, but so estrogen, if you take an oral estrogen, it is metabolized in the liver, where it interacts with vitamin K metabolism, and that leads to clotting diseases or DVTs and all. But the newer generation estrogen, it's sprayed on the hand. Either it's a spray gel or it's a patch. So 3 kinds of estrogen, and it is absorbed by the skin and it doesn't go to the liver. So it's very, very safe. As I said, I'm on HRT for almost 2 years. I started HRT and I kind of suffered for 2 years. I had a lot of mental fogging and everything. And there is another study which says that women in their 50s stop driving on a motorway in Western country. What? Exactly why? Tell me why in 50s? Because driving requires concentration. And the multitasking ability of women, the brain fog, starts struggling and they start giving up those kind of things. You know, I don't know, look back and think about, internalize and think, have there been incidences like a simple chore that you used to do, like buying grocery? You would buy it without that. But there comes a point when that buying grocery doesn't leave your mind. Oh, I have to buy it. I have to buy it. You just can't sectorize it. This happens when we come to menopause. And I myself started HRT because I was reversing. I'm a very good driver. I was reversing my car in my own car parking space.
Mhm.
Well, I have done thousands of times. It's a tight car parking. My car is bleeping. I'm hearing that and I banged it too. I'm hearing, but my mind just didn't want to process it. It's a simple thing. It happens. If you all go, women, especially, we have more different. I mean, there is something like andropause, but it is not as complicated as we have. In this aspect, we are different. So HRT is really, I mean, it's been really life changing for me because, as I said, that estrogen then helps with your collagen. So we have skin receptors. Skin has receptors for collagen, and so if you're perimenopausal, you're still having periods, then they give you cyclic, i.e., they give you breaks for the period. But if you are menopausal, by definition, if you haven't had period for a year, then they will give you a continuous. So I'm on a continuous, so like you take it every night. Progesterone is sedative. It causes a little, it makes you a little sleepy. So you're supposed to take it in the night time. So never take a progesterone in the morning. So then you can take both the drugs just before you sleep. So you kind of put a patch. So, and in UK, there is a bill that is being passed that every woman, until and unless there is a severe contraindication, should have access to HRT. I don't know why we are lacking on that. And we are a cohort of 10 women in my hospital. We are 10 radiologists in my hospital of different ethnicity. Oh yeah, we have a wonderful Greek, Indian, Pakistani, Polish, and to be honest, only one is younger, and we all are menopausal, perimenopausal, and all of us are on HRT, being doctors. 9 of us 10, we are on HRT. And like my patients, 60s, 70s, they come and when I'm like injecting their hips and everything, they'll say, Doc, I've got an HRT patch. Does it come in your way? Like it is so common. And when I walk around and I ask here, I am yet to find other woman who has come and told me that I'm on HRT. In this huge social circle of mine, either we shy about talking for menopause, or we are still in the era when it was like two decades back. The research was very limited, and people still think, oh, it forms cancer. If you drive, there are 7% chances of dying in an accident. How many people have stopped driving? The chances of getting cancer or contraindications from a HRT are even less. And it's just got a bad name. And it's really, really, I mean, you know, there are 7 dwarfs of menopause. I don't know how many of you know, itchy, bitchy, farty, sweaty, and what else? All those. And I don't know how many of you have experienced it. I lived with all 7 dogs for 2 years, and HRT has taken all of them away from me. And I really, really thank my stars that I had access to it. So I don't know why we don't have access to it. I've been working, I've been talking about it, but so that's me here. I'm very happy to answer any more. So I am actually talking from my own personal references. Everything that I say, I do it. I take whey protein. I strength train. I lift heavy. I go lifting with Bhushan and Nisar. That's probably my bonding time with my both boys, the younger and the senior one, when I am. And exercise timing, there is no right time. Wherever you can find the window. Morning is better for consistency. Evening is better for strength. But then it has to be that there is no bad time to exercise. And very happy to answer any other questions. And how do you make a workout plan? And there's no, you're never late. On the contrary, this is the time to start exercising because, as I said, this is perimenopause, and menopause is the catabolic phase of life where if you want to reverse your metabolism, you have to strength train, take protein, and if you want to talk about HRT, do consider HRT.
I have one question. Yeah, there's some myths with the whey protein. Someone tells it failure to kidney or something like that. What exactly?
Absolutely wrong. If you have a healthy kidney, whey is nothing. Whey is nothing but a refined. जो आप पनीर निकालते हो उसके ऊपर जो पानी निकल जाता है उससे जो निकला हुआ चीज या पनीर से उससे निकला हुआ concentrated form में जो प्रोटीन होता है that is whey protein.
How about taking charge? Is it?
You can take it, but कितना प्रोटीन रहेगा छाछ में?
क्या मतलब हम तो पीने
हाँ पी लो उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है but कितना प्रोटीन रहेगा? What I'm saying is you need to, if you at this phase of time, if you want your muscles to be correct,
त्याच्यामध्ये सुरू झालं का हे?
have to have at least 1.1 gram per kg body weight. I give you all of this thing कि आप MyFitnessPal डाउनलोड करो और आप अपना उसमें रोज जो भी खाते हो उसको ऐड करो. MyFitnessPal करके एक ये आता है, एक वेइंग स्केल लाओ घर में, अनकुक मत मेजर करो बट लाइक हमने कुक दाल ली अप्रोक्सीमेट, हमने कुक दाल ली, कुक राइस लिया तो आप सिर्फ उसको वे कर लो कि आई एम ईटिंग 100 grams कुक्ड राइस. अपना अपना आप जो नॉर्मली खाते हो सी इट, ट्रैक इट एंड देन एवरी डे इट विल टेल यू कि कितना प्रोटीन होता है एंड देन यू ऑल कैन ऑनेस्टली टेल मी कि आपके डाइट में कितना. Because that is the building blocks of the body and equally carb. Another thing which I, because unfortunately I'm talking very unstructured because I didn't plan for it. So other thing what happens when you are aging is आपका body का energy requirement अपने आप कम होता है. Like in this phase of time, there are so many things happening. एक तो hormonal changes हो रहे हैं. Secondly, आप अपने आप खाना कम खाने लगते हैं. If you realize you eat much less than, so it's said about 300 calories less every day is what we start eating, and हमारा expenditure भी कम हो जाता है. तो आपका expenditure कम हो गया, आपका intake कम हो गया, तो आपकी body क्या signal कर रही है कि मुझे energy चाहिए, muscle को break करो. So आप कम खा रहे हो, आप उसको stimulus नहीं दे रहे हो, आप protein नहीं दे रहे हो, आपकी body protein की बनी हुई है. So body क्या करेगी? आपके चेहरे का कोलेजन निकालेगी, आपके मसल्स का मायोफाइब्रिल्स निकालेगी, उसको यूज करेगी. So kind of like you are pushing body into the, you're helping body into the same, so these kind of things, exercising also improves your longevity. And protein का satiety factor is better. आप एक स्लैब पनीर खा के देखो और आप दाल चावल खा के देखो या आप 2 अंडे खा के देखो. Morning में you have 1 toast and 2 eggs, you will be fuller for longer. So protein का satiety factor is better. Protein का thermogenic effect is better. प्रोटीन को ब्रेक डाउन करने के लिए कि आपकी बॉडी को डबल अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी यूज करनी पड़ती है फैट और कार्ब्स की. So carb is also important because fat diets are not required. All you need is balance. So say and extreme calorie restriction, 1200 calories and 1000 calories. Your body needs that energy also, isn't it? To build the blocks. So these extreme calorie restriction for a week or two to look good for a function is all right, but you can't sustain it throughout for all your things. So if you want to have a generally good looking, active life or throughout, you have to have enough food. So kind of like I used to eat 1200 calories. In between, when I was trying to get stronger, live stronger, I ate 2500 calories. So I was almost eating throughout the day. So I did gain a little bit of fat, but most of it goes making your body stronger and leaner. So food is not an enemy. You have to eat it rightly. I've seen most of the girls, they go out, they hardly eat. It's about making right choices, the right amount of energy. And as I said, that at this phase in life, it's all about being active and being stronger and leading a better life. Kind of trying to run down the stairs when you're on a travel, pulling your own suitcase, taking one thing. And trust me, looking good is a byproduct which will come. It's not going to go anywhere. But change your attitude towards exercise at this age. And who are we to impress or to answer or to any? We've done that. We all had our own glories and past that. But why should, and the thing is, like, if you get menopausal at 40, 45, the hormone decline starts at 30. We live for 90 years. So the catabolic phase of life is longer than the anabolic phase of life. So we have to fight against that in a way. So what we can do is routine, strength train, do a cardio, but cardio at this age should be low impact cardio or low impact steady state cardio. Walking is very good. So, and so my split right now, I'm just kind of going through what I do rather than literature or anything. Right now, I used to exercise, I used to strength train 6 days a week, two pull, two push, and pull, push, leg, pull, push, leg. Now I have reduced it. I do 4 days of strength training, 1 day of cardio, and 1 day of functional, and 1 day of rest. The rest day I try to get 10 kgs, the 10,000 steps. And if you actually, all those who wear a tracker, in our country, it's very difficult to get steps. I see that when I am in Bombay, I hardly get 4,000 steps. And we were actually hunters and gatherers. Our body was not meant for this lifestyle. So every passing year, human being is walking less and less. So 10K steps and 4 days. So right now I do 2 days of, so a good strength training program would be incorporating every muscle twice a week, hitting your muscles with different kind of things twice a week. So I do 2 days of leg. So I do upper body, lower body, rest, upper body, lower body, cardio, rest. So, and rest is active rest. Rest doesn't mean that you're going to plonk on the sofa. Rest means yoga. Yes, yoga is rest, active rest. Yeah. Yoga is active rest. It's flexibility. It's not yoga, walking. They are on your rest days.
So while you're thinking of your question, I just wanted to know how important it is to wear the proper clothes when you are exercising, because sometimes we wear whatever is available at home, and you could also injure yourself if you are not wearing proper
Anything that doesn't restrict your movement is fine. You don't have to buy the most expensive thing. Sports bra is necessary because there are ligament of Cooper in the bra. So depending on your size of the breast, if you're heavy busted, you have to have more support, because then you will get bra soreness. So only thing that you should focus on is sports bra as a female.
Yeah.
Breast, anything that doesn't have loose things. So dupattas, you can't have it. A sari, you can't have it. Though in olden days, that's why kashta and all is there, because then they used to tie the kashtas and they used to do that. So there are so many things in Indian thing where they like. So whatever doesn't restrict your movement is perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be the most expensive brand. You can very well exercise in a salwar, in a salwar or a top.
So, Sheetal, thank you so much for giving us this beautiful talk. I hope it inspires people to follow some of the suggestions that Sheetal has made. We will continue to have such talks by our own, family on Shushruta. So the next one we will organize very soon. We will continue to have series of talks where we are not, by the way, serving any snacks here today. We just had a cup of coffee and some water. So, I hope if you have any questions, please do send them in. We will request Sheetal to give us back to you. We are ending this session here today. Thank you so much for joining us. And
So much for
see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye bye.